Hello to my Geminis. This is Queen Amora coming to you with your general reading, Geminis. Happy Monday to everybody. All right, Geminis, let's do it. Let's see what is going on in your reading. This reading is going to take us out to the 29th of October. So all of these readings are timeless. So you'll see it whenever you're supposed to see it. You'll see it whenever you're supposed to see it, okay? All right. So this is around you showing yourself a little bit more compassion. You showing yourself a little bit more compassion, right? So that's not the easiest thing for a lot of people to do, is show themselves a little bit more compassion. You are, Spirit says this week is about finding harmony, finding balance between intellect and intuition, and speaking from love rather than fear. And so we're going to uncover what this means for you in your reading, right? Just gaining some kind of inner clarity, aligning thought and emotion so your truth flows effortlessly through divine connection. And the theme around your reading is going to be communication with spirit, also alignment, also heart-mind balance, also compassionate awareness. What we're focusing on for you, Gemini, is transforming. Can you transform self-talk and reconnect with higher guidance this week, right? So let's start out with your card. Your card sets the tone. So let's start out with here. I trust my intuition. Let's start this first, okay? I trust my intuition, right? So your card begins this reading, divine alignment. Spirit says this week centers around choice, harmony, and heart-led truth. It's time to reignite with your higher self, right? That's what somebody's learning how to do, reignite with your higher self. And a challenge for you could be the moon card, which you may feel uncertain or emotionally foggy. Spirit reminds you that confusion is simply the soul's invitation to slow down and listen more deeply. And so that could be a challenge. So you could either be a Gemini sun or Gemini moon, right? And it can be a challenge for you. And so it may take maybe being friends with an Aquarius sun or an Aquarius moon to teach the Gemini sun, an Aquarius sun teaching a Gemini sun, a Gemini moon teaching a Aquarius moon, basically balance. Right. And thinking, learning and growing, who knows, right? But what you have in common with some energies are that you are a hermit, right? So you are in communion with your higher self. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people, it's hard for them to kind of I feel like I need to get out the house. I need to go do something. It's hard for some people to stay in the house. At nighttime, they want to get out. They want to do X, Y, and Z. But for some people, it's easy for them to go within and, like I said, be in communion with their higher selves. And, and it's overwhelming for some people. They think they're running away from something when really they are actually, their gifts are being sharpened. Their intuition is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And so the root of something is High Priestess, right? This is the root, the foundation. At your core lies sacred intuition. Spirit says your inner knowing has been speaking. Trust your instincts even when logic can't yet explain why. And your past influences have been the Tower, right? Total recall. And sometimes you having a total recall, it can feel like a crash out, like everything is crashing around you. So past shifts or revelations change your mental landscape. And Spirit says what broke apart was never your truth. It was illusion falling away, right? So you going into hermit mode, trying to gain wisdom from your higher self, going within, should not cause other people, anybody, in any relationship, overwhelmed. They shouldn't be overwhelmed because you want to go within, right? Maybe you and somebody else, you want to go within and kind of, it shouldn't cause your person, because I see somebody meeting possibly a twin flame, but this is you and you, one whole person. And it's overwhelming when you go into your hermit mode, sharpening your gifts, your spiritual gifts. For some people, just to even hear what you're saying. They're like, oh my God, I want to be around that energy. That energy is a star. It's almost like somebody saying, can they bring their crystal ball? Can they bring, do they got a crystal ball with them? Like, let's invite them out at night. Let's see what they see at night. Listen, I got questions, to ask, right? But it doesn't necessarily happen that way. It doesn't, so you're having a total recall of some things, right? You're having a tower moment, past shifts or revelations, your mental landscape. The conscious influence is magician. You are consciously manifesting new beginnings. And so spirit confirms your words and thoughts are powerful tools. Speak them with faith, not fear. So somebody could be afraid of what people are going to think. You could be afraid of what people are going to think. You could be afraid what men are going to think if you say something about men. Oh my God, you hate men, when you really don't, right? Or if you say something about women, oh God, you hate women, but you really don't, right? If you're a man or whoever. Whatever frequency people are on. People are going to choose to believe what they want to believe. And you can't help that. You really can't help what people are going to believe, right? So this is you here, right? The Knight of Swords. You see yourself as ready for action, eager for answers. Spirit asks you to slow the mind. Sometimes the truth arrives in stillness, not in speed, right? So you all love to learn. You're an incredibly smart sign, very perceptive. You love to learn, right? So you're like, okay, tell me. I'm ready to receive, right? I'm ready to receive. Balance of divine masculine to divine feminine energy, right? In one person. So even when the moon is in Libra like it is right now, and the way that you all are able to flip the script, not flip the script, but flip the switch, right? On and off is amazing to some people. They're like, okay, this person they love to learn. They're just a sponge for learning. You're in receiving mode. And what can you create from just that learning? You learn something and just puts an end to, certain things that people are just in awe. Like how this person went through so many dark times and come out a light high priestess. You're having a total recall of some things. And you're still able to talk to people without talking down to them. In other words, talk to them like you're showing compassion, but you're still in human form, so it doesn't make you perfect. Somebody catch you on the wrong day, and it could be perceived as you're talking down to them because you may need to hurry up and get off the phone, or you may be rushing somewhere or doing something else. So you're trying to be mindful of that. But guess what? If you put too much energy into it, you be overthinking it. Really overthinking it. Like, okay, that was not your intention. But so people are going to believe what they want to believe about you. That's going to be their first and last first and lasting impression of you. So, but it also exposes their temperament as well. So this is a near future, right? So you've already flipped the switch. You've already said, okay, hey, you weren't talking down to somebody. You went on to learn of something new. Right? While they're sitting in a space where their temperature is rising, it's boiling, they're mad, right? You don't even know why they're mad, right? They're fixated on something. So here we have Temperance card. So peace is on the horizon. Spirit says balance and clarity returns as you merge intellect with emotion, logic with compassion, right? So like I said, this is you. Somebody who learns quickly, right? And the Hermit card is your environmental influences, right? So your surrounding may encourage introspection. Spirit says solitude is sacred now. So you're seeking silence to hear your higher guidance clearly. This is the last day of the cycle. Then we're entering into a new moon phase within a new cycle. Everybody, I can't say everybody. Some people are going into hermit mode just to kind of get your downloads, right? Some people are going to think, I need to be out. I need to be making money. I need to be doing this and that, so on and so forth. But Source is also saying at the same time, we are at the end of a cycle. Even though the moon is in Libra, that's an air sign, you could get some air during the day. You can get some air. The air is the air you breathe in your house. That's also air, right? It's not going to lower talking to people, learning something. That's also air. That's just the element of air, right? Heart chakra. the basic need to love and to be loved. You may love reading. That could nurture your spirit. You may love cooking. You know, you could be talking to somebody on the phone about a recipe while you're indoors, right? That's adding value to you. Your future in terms of your lover, your twin flame coming in. Somebody has a twin flame coming in. You on the phone talking to somebody right now, right here, instead of dashing out, right? And so Source is saying to you, you're raising your own stock, right? And so this is what you're doing. You're raising your own stock. And so Source is saying to you, because you're in preparation for something you prayed for. You prayed for a twin flame to come in. That's what's coming in. And Source is going to make this thing happen fast for you, because your gifts are, whatever it is that you do, right, are being felt everywhere, right? And people believe in your gifts. They believe in your psychic gifts. So you attracting somebody to come across your path, you're attracting people that you want, but you're also attracting people that you don't want. So you're trusting your intuition. You're learning how to trust your intuition. But you're trying to keep something high frequency. So when people are saying, oh, you running from love, you may not be running from love at all. You may be saying, okay, let me make sure I tweak my list. And let me make sure I protect my list, like you protecting that cup or glass of water. You're like, I'm not telling everybody what I want in a person. And all of these suitors could be coming across your path thinking that, okay, you're rejecting them because what they heard. They chose to believe that. That's what they chose to believe. But you're having a total recall. And the total recall for you is like, okay, you need to put your list together in and out. What's on the inside and the outside. So while you're putting your list together, you're not going to be rushed, right? So there could be plenty of people who you feel like, okay, on the outside, they're perfect. But on the inside, you may need something that they may not have. And so you're not trying to mold somebody into a builder human being, like Build-A-Bear. You're not trying to do that. You're not trying to make a person feel like they're so overwhelmed they can never get it right. That would be cruel to a person. So no, you're not doing that. And you're not running away from somebody, whoever it is. So that's what I'm seeing here is, Two of Pentacles here. You may feel that you're juggling too much or fear instability. Spirit reassures you that balance comes from awareness, not control. And here's your star. This is the outcome. Hope, healing, and divine connection. Spirit confirms that clarity returns. You are aligning with truth, purpose, and peace, right? That's what I'm seeing for you. So this week, Gemini, is about merging your mind with your soul and letting your inner duality and find sacred unity. This is one person right here. This is you. You love yourself so much that you're not going to make an impulsive decision to be in something where somebody's expecting for you to be perfect, where you end up being the shadow to their light. Because that happens a lot, where people feel like, okay, I know this about you. I know that I heard this and heard that about you. And you're coming in wrong. Somebody coming in all wrong. Right? That's a quick you running away from. They don't think you running away from something. Well, I didn't know what to believe. You came in wrong. You came in wrong off top. You came in wrong. So no, that's going to be a no. So, same thing about, somebody thought that you were being condescending to them. Somebody thought that you were talking down to them. That maybe wasn't the case at all. So, but people are going to believe what they want to believe but it actually exposed who they were linking up with. That's what it really served because of your gifts. It showed you by some of the things that they said, who was in this secret group. That's what it exposed. That's the real reason why you're saying no, thank you, because it exposed them. People got to be close when they're careful when they say, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Somebody came in seeing you as opposition. And the moment they start to open up and getting closer to you, you start realizing, okay. You immediately knew that that energy would treat you as opposition because you already knew who they were running with. So somebody essentially told on themselves who it is. Somebody told on themselves. So this could be a Gemini moon. Whoever this is, somebody could be a Gemini moon. They told on themselves. They expose their feelings about something. And you are pouring into yourself, right? Or wherever Gemini sits in your birth chart, right? Yeah, they expose their feelings about something, their emotions about something. So, or wherever it sits, they spoke to you about something. Yeah, somebody, yeah. Somebody came to you and said this was their justification for their temper coming out, right? Somebody said that you spoke to them in a condescending way, and that's the reason why. That was their justification for cussing you out. That was their justification for going off on you because you were condescending to them, right? Whoever you, that was their justification. That was their reason for going off. So anytime somebody speaks to them, talks to them a certain kind of way, then that's the reason for their temper to come flaring out, right? The "do you know who I am" crew, right? So companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. So see your twin flame coming in. Because somebody is connected to a very impulsive spirit. Somebody's was in a relationship. They may not have purged that energy. They could have been in a relationship with a very impulsive spirit. They used to talk talk down to them. So dance around your home as if no one is watching. So if they were in a relationship with somebody who talked down to them constantly and overwhelmed them constantly, and they didn't purge that energy, they still got, they haven't. If they still got items that belong to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion, holding on, trying to do dark magic, or doing all this other mess, they haven't purged, they haven't cleansed, spiritually cleansed. Here we have foreknowledge. You have the gift of foreknowledge, right? Yeah, so somebody regrets lying to you about something. Your ex wants to return. The best is yet to come. Put yourself first. Yeah, somebody's just looking for a reason to let their temper show. Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, so just looking for a reason to box somebody in, but you're leaving some energies behind. Yeah, so time to ground yourself. Yeah, so close out the cycle in love. Anytime somebody is constantly trying to bring a temper out in a person, it's not the other person, it's them. They constantly, it's like, if I do this, I'm going to see if I can bring out the worst. Because I really want to see, I want to see this. I want to see, like, what is the problem? You would let go and let God. You're letting go and letting God. So you're praying and meditating on something. So your inner child is very proud of you. So you're making room for a new blessing. The spy is now turned on. Yeah, that's what you call an open enemy. So now somebody's ex wants to return. I saw the comments in the last video. Y'all are funny. One of the last videos, I said, Lord have mercy. But yeah, I do see twin flame coming across your path. But people who are constantly trying to bring a temper out of somebody, they trying to press buttons to see which button they can press. That is not a twin flame. Not at all. That is an open enemy. That's a person that eventually you're going to see yourself in court somewhere sitting on the opposite side of the table. Where that's where they always wanted to be. They always wanted to fight. They need to go to law school for real. Yeah, family. Somebody who likes to argue, they can put that to good use. If they see it from a higher frequency, they can put it to good use. But anybody that's like, trying to show compassion towards people, they see it as a weakness. Like, what? But nobody showed me any compassion. Okay, when they go back to that energy and tell them, not take it out on everybody else that's getting compassion. That's not how it works. So that's what I'm seeing here in your cards. You're letting go and you're letting God. So yeah, something we see in root chakra here. You could be talking about an earth sign. You're pulling something up at the root. That could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, whoever it is. But somebody likes to overwhelm people until they see the worst come out of them. Then they feel like, okay, they've accomplished something by just being ruthless to people. So what somebody is realizing here is, one, that's not a twin flame. But two, no matter how ruthless one person is, there's somebody who is going for the most ruthless award. And it usually happens when you least expect it. So that's what I'm seeing here. Somebody is looking for, somebody is looking, just roaming to and fro, trying to cause tower moments. So Source is trying to tell you that you can avoid all of that by just trusting your intuition. Just trust your intuition. Listen to it. Take a minute. Like I said, the moon is in Libra. Libra's an air sign. Don't do an injustice to yourself by not knowing that the air that you're breathing, whether you're in the house or outside, is the same air. It is air. The air that you're breathing, right? So some people feel like they always need to be out. They always need to be out and about. You got to learn the lay of the land. You got to learn. You got to study where people go. You got to do all of this other stuff. Some people, they just trust their intuition. They trust their intuition. They're focusing on their family. They're focusing on their twin flame. They're focusing on their gifts. It's just a higher level of consciousness. So this week is about merging your mind with your soul, letting your inner duality find sacred unity. Spirit says your compassion is your wisdom, and your words hold the power to heal. And so speak gently, listen deeply, and trust that every message from Spirit is guiding you home and sending everybody lots of love and light your way. Let me make sure we got all the oracle cards out here. Did I get? Yeah, I got this chakra card here. So yeah, root chakra. So somebody's doing something at the root, giving yourself some type of retreat today. That's nice. Okay, to help nurture your root chakra. All right. Okay, nice. Okay, very nice. But somebody's focusing on family. That's what you're focusing on, right? Yeah, you're not a teenager. You got a twin flame coming in. Whoever if that's what you prayed for, somebody already in your relationship with their twin flame. But yeah, your companionship. Yeah, somebody has a memory like an elephant. You and somebody have a memory like an elephant, whoever that is. So I don't know who regrets lying to you. I have no idea. Somebody's ex wants to return. It could be ex-friend, ex-love interest, ex-colleague you used to hang out with, whoever. Somebody wants to return from your past. But I see you praying and meditating. I see you letting go and letting God. So you can apply wherever it goes, right? So take only what resonates with you. Take only what resonates with you. That is what I have for you. See you in the next video. Bye.